Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss all the questions of class 11 English chapter 1, The Portrait of a Lady. Let us look at the first question of understanding the text. Mention the three phases of the author's relationship with his grandmother before he left the country to study abroad. Answer: in The Portrait of a Lady, three phases of author's relation with his grandmother are noticed. They are as follows. Number one, the first phase of relationship was when the author's parents left for the city. He stayed with his grandmother. He was brought up in the care of his grandmother. She used to go to school with him and look after him all the time. Number two, the second phase of the relationship was in the city house of the author's parents. That was a turning point of the relationship. Although they shared the same room, grandmother stopped to come to school with him. As the lessons were in English, she couldn't help him in his studies. Point number three. The third phase of their relation can be seen when the author went up to the university. He was given a room of his own. The common link of friendship was snapped. His grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. Question number two. Mention three reasons why the author's grandmother was disturbed when he started going to the city school. Answer: the author's grandmother was disturbed when he started going to the city school because number one, the lessons were in English and she couldn't help him in his studies. Number two, she was distressed because there was no teaching about God and scriptures. Number three, she was also very disturbed when she came to know that the author was given music lessons. According to her, music was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk. Question number three. Mention three ways in which the author's grandmother spent her days after he grew up. Answer: the three ways in which the author's grandmother spent her days after he grew up are: number one, she spent most of the time by spinning wheel. Number two, she used to sit by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers from sunrise to sunset. Number three, she used to feed the sparrows in the afternoon. Question number four. Mention the odd way in which the author's grandmother behaved just before she died. Answer: just before her death, a sense came over her. She told her family that her end was near. She had omitted to pray and she didn't want to waste any more time talking to her family members. She then laid peacefully in her bed praying and telling her beads. Soon her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face and she passed away. Question number 5. Mention the way in which the sparrows expressed their sorrow when the author's grandmother died. Answer: when author's grandmother died, thousands of sparrows sat scattered all over the veranda, in her room, and on the floor where the dead body of grandmother was laid. The birds were not chirping. When author's mother threw some little pieces of bread to the sparrows, they took no notice of the bread. When the dead body of the grandmother was carried off, the sparrows flew away silently. Now, let us look at the first question of talking about the text. The author's grandmother was a religious person. What are the different ways in which we come to know this? Answer: the author's grandmother was a religious person. We came to know this from her behavior. She used to visit the temple every morning and read scriptures. Her lips kept moving in inaudible prayer, and her fingers always kept counting the beads of rosary. Question number 2. Describe the changing relationship between the author and his grandmother. Did their feelings for each other change? Answer: in the village, the author was brought up in the care of his grandmother. They enjoyed a very close friendship. The turning point of the relationship was in the city house of the author's parents. The author was sent to English school and the lessons were in English, so she couldn't help him in his studies. She was very disturbed when she came to know that the author was given music lessons. When the author went to the university, the common link of their friendship was snapped, but they both loved each other. Question number 3. Would you agree that the author's grandmother was a person strong in character? If yes, give instances that show this. Answer. Answer is the author's grandmother was a person strong in character. When the author went abroad and came home after 5 years, she did not show any emotion. She kept herself busy in reciting prayers. Now let us look at the first question of thinking about language. Which language do you think the author and his grandmother used while talking to each other? Answer. The author and his grandmother might have used their mother tongue Punjabi while talking to each other. For such videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get the notification of our upcoming videos. Thank you.